Hello and welcome. Climate change can feel like this huge, tangled, just overwhelming problem. But what if there was a clear, professional blueprint for how to actually tackle it? Well, that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to break down that very plan and turn this massive crisis into a solution we can actually understand.
Right out of the gate, the source material makes one thing absolutely clear. This is not just an environmental issue. Not at all. It's a crisis that sends ripples through our health, our economies, and even our global security. And honestly, understanding just how far-reaching this is, that's the key to unlocking the entire solution we're about to walk through. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll really get a handle on the scale of the problem. Then, we'll dive straight into the integrated action plan and its main parts: mitigation, adaptation, and innovation. And, to wrap it all up, we'll look at the kind of global cooperation it's going to take to make any of this a reality.
So let's kick things off with part one, a planet on alert. Before you can solve any problem, you have to truly understand what you're up against.
So, what are we really talking about here? At its core, climate change is the result of greenhouse gases trapping heat in our atmosphere. And this slide gets straight to the source. It's primarily driven by human activities, things like burning fossil fuels, clearing forests, and our industrial processes. Simple as that. And these consequences, they aren't some distant threat happening in the future. They are here right now. We're seeing more intense storms, floods, and heat waves. Sea levels are rising. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. And all of this creates very, very real threats to our food, our water, our health, and our economies. Remember, these aren't just abstract bullet points. Each one of these represents a profound challenge to real people all around the world.
Okay, so the problem is immense. We get it. But the real focus of this analysis is the solution. So let's move on to part two, the integrated action plan. Think of this as the blueprint for how we fight back.
Now, this plan isn't about finding one single silver bullet. It's a three-part strategy. First up is mitigation. That's all about attacking the problem at its source. Then there's adaptation. This is how we manage the impacts that we can no longer avoid. And the engine driving it all, that's the third component: innovation and policy, the forces that propel this whole effort forward.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of that first pillar, mitigation. This is all about one thing: hitting the brakes on emissions and slowing this whole thing down.
This slide does a great job of breaking down the two core strategies. Mitigation, on one side, is proactive. It's like slamming on the brakes in a car to stop the problem from getting any worse. On the other side, you have adaptation. Think of this as building really good shock absorbers. The bumps are already on the road, so this is about being prepared to handle the impacts we know are coming. The key insight here? You absolutely need both. It's not an either-or situation. So, what do these brakes actually look like in the real world? Well, it means a massive shift to renewable energy, like solar and wind. It means making our buildings and cars way more efficient. And it also involves smart economic tools, like carbon pricing, to make polluting more expensive. And of course, a huge piece of the puzzle is protecting and expanding our forests.
Okay, moving on to part four, where we tackle adaptation and innovation. So if mitigation is about slowing the car down, this part is about making sure we can handle the bumpy road ahead while also designing a better car for the future. Adaptation is really all about smart preparation. This means building roads and buildings that can actually withstand floods and storms. It means changing how we farm so our crops can survive droughts. It means getting serious about managing our water resources and, this is a big one, making sure communities are educated and prepared for climate-related disasters.
And here's where some of that key innovation comes in. You see, our current economy is pretty linear. We take stuff, we make stuff, and then we throw it away. The circular economy completely flips that idea on its head. The whole goal is to design waste out of the system from the very beginning. It's a huge shift from just managing waste to preventing it entirely, which, as you can imagine, radically reduces our environmental footprint.
And technology is, without a doubt, a massive part of this solution. We're talking about developing ways to literally capture carbon right out of the atmosphere, inventing brand new materials that are sustainable from day one, and using powerful tools like AI to monitor our planet's health and make our resource use way more efficient.
So, we have the plan, right? Mitigate and adapt, and power it all with innovation. But none of this works in a bubble. And that brings us to our final critical section, our global responsibility. This is all about the power of working together.
The bottom line here is that no single country, no single company can do this alone. It's just not possible. This requires enforcing big global agreements like the Paris Accord.
It means developed nations have to support developing countries with money and technology, and it demands powerful partnerships between governments, private companies, and nonprofits, all pulling in the exact same direction.
You know, this quote from the source material really brings us full circle. It's such a powerful reminder that the stakes are incredibly high, touching every single part of our lives. It's not one problem over here, it's all of our problems, all tangled up together.
And so, this is where we land. We have a professional, evidence-based plan that combines mitigation, adaptation, and innovation. We actually know what we need to do. So the real defining question of our time is this. As a global community, is our will to cooperate strong enough to actually see it through? That, right there, is the challenge that lies ahead of us all.